family, my Blue October journey has been all over the place, right? I started with Hate Me, which kind of gave me a trajectory for where I was going down the Blue October rabbit hole. But then, someone recommended in the PayPal, and I appreciate all of the patrons, that I check out a song called Fear. And not only was he a whole lot older, but, the trajectory was an entire 180. And it was a hopeful message, right? And now we're taking a journey into a song called Home. And I decided to do a little bit of research into Blue October without actually listening to the track or the album, right? And this album is like the opposite of the trajectory of their identity before it, right? Before Home, Justin built a career on pain. It was about addiction. Blue October was about instability, right? Albums like Foiled or Any Man in America were very dark. And then Home comes out, and it's apparently hopeful, stable, graceful. We haven't interacted with it yet. We're about to let him cook. But one of the unfortunate things about that, when you take that kind of turn, is you have fans that are expecting you to continue being your old, dark, addicted, depressed self. And it's like there's a certain group that identifies with that. I think Eminem went through the same problem when he was releasing Recovery and stuff like that, where people were like, "Hey man, I really liked the drug addicted kind of, just don't give up, Eminem," right? And there's a lot of, artists that, when they go on their healing process, people are a little bit too reminiscent on the old, dark, unstable side, as opposed to kind of having that celebratory side. But also, I think Justin makes he gives a lot of credit to his daughter, the birth of his daughter. And as a father myself, when you have a child that's born, you go from an egocentric kind of processing to an allocentric processing, they call it. Egocentric processing is you wonder, how far is that object from me? How far is this sound from me? You want to protect yourself. But that allocentric processing, when you have a son or daughter that's born, how far away is my daughter from that outlet, right? Or how far away is, my daughter from that sharp object? It's like there's a part of your body which is now outside of you, and your world expands and your sense of identity, expands and includes them. So, listen, without any further ado, this is my first watch. We're going to be listening to Home by Blue October. Please, please cook.
This little piggy stayed home. This little piggy had pancakes. This little piggy had none.
I'll smile if I want to. I'm not afraid, gonna flaunt it too. Wanna glow when you're living true. Yeah, I'm living for the right now. I had a few friends show me how. Yeah, I take a deep breath and blow it out. Let it go. But listen,
Guys, I'm sorry, I need that first line again because there's something to say here. Listen, when he starts,
I'll smile if I want to. I'm not afraid, gonna flaunt it too.
I'll smile if I want to. I'm not ashamed, I'm gonna flaunt it too. It's like what I just said about the fans. There's certain people like, well, why are you smiling? Why aren't you the same person that I remember? Because once you've built a name and a celebrity status off of being that guy who hates the world and who's, depressed and who's kind of this monster, right? You have to say to yourself out loud, I'm not ashamed to smile. I'm not ashamed to brace a new reality, no matter what I lose in that process, right? I respect it.
Wanna glow when you're living true. Yeah, I'm living for the right now. I had a few friends show me how. Yeah, I take a deep breath and blow it out. Let it go. But listen, I can't wait to see what's around the corner. I can't wait to soar. Baby, I lie awake and I watch you sleeping, thinking it's the little things that make a home. Dancing in the kitchen in the pale moonlight. Only care in the world is that our kids are alright. Daddy loves mama and mama loves him. Tomorrow we get to do it over again. So smile at me, baby, take my breath away. With the good Lord willing, I'll be happy to say that daddy loves mama and mama loves him. Tomorrow we get to do it over again.
Fam, listen, hear me out, because this is beautiful and this is gorgeous and this is wholesome. Why is there something so magnetic and attractive to songs about pain and suffering and misery, and there's less of a draw and less of a pull for the, for the redemption songs, Bob Marley said, "For all I ever had, redemption songs." Right? This song of freedom. Like, for some reason, we're attracted to songs which kind of meet us in our dark places. And what's amazing is that Blue October has been able to remain stable, even, even after kind of leaving that old trajectory. I do want, and I'm going to have to listen to a little bit more of their darker music to see whether or not that they maintained their musicality and their genius after that transition. Let me know if you followed Blue October throughout this, because look, when I did a reaction to Hate Me, there was just a whole heck of a lot more love for that song than my corresponding reaction to the song Fear. And, maybe that's my fault, but it's like with Hate Me, they were screaming that chorus. There was pain in it. They were losing themselves in it. And Fear, was joyous and free, but maybe a bit more calculated, I don't know. Let me know.
I feel like I'm gonna win, and I'm as proud as I've ever been, 'cause I'm surrounded with some good friends. Yeah, good friends, good friends. I'm forever.
He says, good friends, like it's almost like he's pointing at the past friends. He's like, I got good friends now, good friends, right? He's like to those who who were the enablers around me when I was suffering, and the people who shut the door on me, when I lost myself, right? I'm now surrounded with good friends. Family, there is no greater treasure in this life than friends who you call brothers and sisters, people who are really, really that close. You know what I mean? People who have your best interest in mind, and people who are willing to tell you that you're going a little bit too far. Those are the special kind of friends. Those who are never just yes men. People who can pull you aside and be like, hey, you need to kind of tighten up in this or that area. Good friends. Respect that.
Good friends, yeah, good friends, good friends. I'm forever like a tattoo, yeah. I stay sticky 'cause I gotta be the glue for my girl, my friends, my home, family. I do it all, truly. I can't wait to see what's around that corner. I can't wait to soar. But baby, I lie awake and I watch you sleeping, thinking it's the little things that make a home, yeah. 'Cause we'll be dancing in the kitchen in the pale moonlight. Only care in the world is that our kids are alright.
One of the things that I'm thinking when I'm listening to this wholesome song, right? When you because who knows how many fans are still, upset that they're not the old them, right? But I think now that he has a daughter, right, you want to start changing your trajectory. You want some music that's made of hope, so that when your daughter interacts with the music, she can hear something that daddy made that doesn't see the universe as something to be afraid of. You know what I mean? Yeah, I deeply respect that, because, she's definitely going to interact with Hate Me. How could she not hear that song? It's like, wow, what did daddy go through, and to be making this music that she can hear and say, okay, things turned out okay, right? There's light at the end of the tunnel.
Daddy loves mama and mama loves him. Tomorrow we get to do it over again. So smile at me, baby, take my breath away. With the good Lord willing, I'll be happy to say that daddy loves mama and mama loves him. Tomorrow we get to do it over again. We found our home, something we can build for years. Young and old, I'll be there to wipe your tears. We all get to see who we grow up to be. An anchor when in doubt, an ocean when in drought. We aim for it all. We lift up these walls to make this house our home. Dancing in the kitchen in the pale moonlight. Only care in the world is that our kids are alright. Daddy loves mama and mama loves him. Tomorrow we get to do it over again. Smile at me, baby, take my breath away. With the good Lord willing, I'll be happy to say that daddy loves mama and mama loves him. Tomorrow we get to do it over again.
Guys, I'm going to say something. I'm going to say something here, right? And please, please, please bear with me. I'm begging you. Look, I've heard 3 Blue October songs in my entire life. 3. And they're the ones that I've covered on this channel. I've heard 3/4 of the song we're listening to now. I've heard Fear and I've heard Hate Me. And my favorite of the 3 is Hate Me. And that song is very dark, specifically in compared to the second 2, where, you know, he was young and he was addicted and he, you know, all of those things. You know, it's almost like, you know, there was a comedian before one of the Tool songs that say, hey, you know, all of your favorite musicians, real addicted to drugs. You know, there's something about addiction. You know, I don't know. It just kind of lets you, you know, unlock and just kind of, and that's terrible. What am I doing? Am I, you know, I'm definitely not glorifying addiction, right? But, guys, what do you think? I mean, for those of you who really heard Blue October in, you know, what a lot of their fans would call their heyday, when they were really rising to fame, right? I don't know. Sometimes the musicality kind of takes a hit when the suffering is no longer kind of put on Front Street. And the thing is, listen, Justin still suffers because that's a part of life. You know, it's not as if because he's releasing these songs that really have this kind of bright side, it's not as if there isn't suffering, but maybe he's a little bit less likely to deeply venture into those places because, you know, he might see those as gateways. I'm not sure. But yeah.
Dancing in the kitchen in the pale moonlight. Only care in the world is that our kids are alright. Daddy loves mama and mama loves him. Tomorrow we get to do it over again. Smile at me, baby, take my breath away. With the good Lord willing, I'll be happy to say that daddy loves mama and mama loves him. Tomorrow we get to do it over again. Hey, this is Justin. Thank you so much for watching our video for Home. Our album comes out April 22nd. We are so grateful for all of your support. Thank you for your continued support and love. Much love. See you on the road. Bye.
Salute to Justin. You know, and look, this is it's about routine, isn't it? Right? I mean, you know, I think at the last Wisdom School, we have it at the Hilliard Library every other Sunday. We do like the wisdom of certain things. How do we glean wisdom from plants? How do we gain wisdom from animals? And we did the wisdom of insects. And, you know, one of the wisdom of insects is repetition. You know, insects will do the same thing every day, over and over and over again. They just have these patterns that they run. And as a result of this, they have lived millions and millions of years beyond, you know, before humanity, and will probably live on this planet millions and millions of years after us because of these routines. And so I love that he says, you know, tomorrow we'll get to do it over again, that the rest of my life will be this calculated dedication to what's really important, right? And it's a staying awake, right? It's like it's a not falling asleep and getting into the old patterns. It's a staying awake, staying present, staying intentional. And tomorrow we do it all over again, right? Salute to Justin.